This is the most terrifying school basement that no one talks about. A group of teenagers decided to sneak into their old abandoned school. The school had been closed down for years, but they managed to get inside and they began exploring. It didn't take long for them to find something strange in the basement. There was a door that had been sealed shut with what looked like scratch marks all over it. Of course, this made the group a bit uneasy, but they were more curious than scared, so they started recording. As one of the boys approached the door, you can hear what sounds like footsteps, but when the light turns on, there's no one there. They continue to investigate and even open up one of the lockers. But as they do, you can hear what sounds like children's laughter echoing through the empty halls. They continued to explore the school, but they couldn't find anyone. They came across this room with what appeared to be hundreds of yearbooks from the 1950s to the 1980s. As one of the girls picked up a book, the pages began to fall out, and a small slip of paper fell to the ground. On it was a name, a date, and the words, "Don't trust." Not knowing what else to do, they decided to head back upstairs. But as they reached the top of the stairs, they heard footsteps again. When they turned around, they saw a small child-sized figure standing at the bottom of the stairs. It didn't seem to have a face, but its eyes were completely black. The teens scream and run off camera. I don't know why they didn't just run away in the first place, but whatever made them stop, and I'm glad they did, because this is where things get creepy. You can see one of the boys drop his camera on the ground, and while it's not directly shown, I assume they all ran off as fast as they could. Later, one of the cameras was found, but the boy who owned it was never seen again. It looks like this school is haunted by a little boy. If you look closely at the video, you can see the same little boy in the reflection of the glass. He's trying to get out and get revenge on those who have trespassed his school. Do you think this school is haunted? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. Now, before I tell you what happened to the boy, we have to talk about what happened to the school. This school opened in 1927 and was built with the intention of housing 1,200 students. It was meant to be the best school in the state, but it had a lot of problems over the years. The faculty had a hard time controlling the students, and there was a lot of fighting and bullying. Also, several teachers and administrators were arrested for having relationships with students. In 1953, the school board decided to close the school down and turn it into a storage facility. But everyone in town was relieved, because this would now put an end to all the horrible stories coming from the school. In 1988, some local teenagers broke into the school and vandalized it. They destroyed computers, televisions, and even urinated on the walls. A janitor who was working late found them and confronted them. The teenagers then beat him up and fled. The police were able to catch all of them except for one. And to this day, no one knows what happened to him. One day, some workers were cleaning out a storage room when they found the yearbook. They also found hundreds of other books that were filled with nothing but strange symbols and writings. To this day, no one knows what these writings mean or who wrote them. In 1995, the school was demolished, but many townspeople claimed that they saw the ghost of the little boy before it was torn down. In 2003, a group of urban explorers found the abandoned school. They explored the building and found the basement door with the strange markings on it. They tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. They eventually found their way downstairs, but they didn't go near the door. Instead, they found a vent and used it to crawl into the next room. In 2010, the urban explorers returned to the school with better equipment. They went back to the basement, and one of them, named Sean, decided to try opening the door. While filming, the door slowly opened and what looked like a small child walked out. The group screamed and ran away. When they checked the footage later, they realized that what they thought was a child was actually a mannequin. But they swear that they heard footsteps and what sounded like a small gasp when the door opened. In 2014, two teenagers snuck into the school to take pictures for their Instagram. They didn't know that this would be the last thing they ever did. They took pictures throughout the building until they found the basement door. They took a picture of the door and then ran away. What do you think really happened to the boy? I honestly believe that he's still trapped in the basement of the school, waiting for revenge. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Bye.